Aloha, small business Ohana. I wanted to come on today and talk about overwhelm. Overwhelm is something that all small business owners will experience at least once, most likely maybe once a quarter, maybe once a year, but it is an ongoing experience and it can be quite crippling. So I wanted to first let you know that you are incredible. And you are important, not only to your business, but to your loved ones, whoever that may be. So please take care of yourself. How do you recognize if you are burnt out? Well, answer these questions. How many days a week are you working? If you answered 6 or 7 on a consistent basis, there's a good chance you need a break. How long are your work days? How long does it take you to fall asleep at night? How would you rate your quality of sleep? Are you able to shut your mind off when you lie down to go to sleep? How's your focus? I'm just looking at my notes. Are you feeling overwhelmed? Are there things that are going on in your household, like a broken appliance, or maybe the kids are just a little harder to manage? Are you irritable? Ask your spouse or kids about that and you'll get an honest answer. These are just signs. These are signs. Do you feel like you can just never get through your list? All of those are signs of burnout. And I just wanted to let you know it is normal. It's not fun, but identifying it is half the battle. Now you are in charge of your thoughts, of your actions, of your reactions, and of your feelings. Now, sometimes it's hard to manage those or regulate those. And if you're burnt out, it becomes even harder. So what can you do? Well, some of the things you can do is first pause and reflect, maybe journal about what you're feeling, why you're overwhelmed. Recognize, is there something that maybe I can deprioritize? Is there something that I can change? Is there something that I can delegate to other people so that I don't have to do everything? I also want you to recognize that motivation, it's not a constant. This is something that I grappled with and realized a couple of years ago. And that's normal. When you focus on your purpose-driven mission and you enjoy the rewards of the value that you're adding, that's a good thing to do. You can revisit your marketing foundation elements, such as your core values, your purpose-driven mission, your vision, your brand tone, your attributes, your promise, right? Not just the brand design of logo, fonts, and colors, but everything else that's behind a brand. You can get incredibly deep of knowledge and understanding of your dream client, your absolute favorite target customer. These are the people that you are, willing to do pretty much anything for because they see your value. And you feel good because they're helping you get closer to your mission. By the way, if you ever need help with your core values and purpose-driven mission, I can help you in just 2 hours. So it doesn't have to be a long, drawn-out project. So sometimes because you're too close to it, you need an outside perspective to help guide you through it. But this is what I do. Part of what I do. Recognizing your value that your customers see. Being in category design as an advisor, it's so important to have your differentiation. What is your customer going through, and what, the pain, the problem, the want, desire, and how is your solution different? That's really important and critical and will play into all of your marketing and, quite frankly, your sales, as well as, other processes. Like, for example, if you're a mental health provider, your intake process could change because of this. You want to make sure you're defining your priorities, and those are based on a SMART goal that is aligned with your purpose-driven mission and vision. And then you set boundaries. And that could be roles and responsibilities. If you have a team, if you're a one-person shop, a solopreneur, then your boundaries need to be clear with yourself, and you need to hold yourself accountable to those. So is it shutting down your computer at whatever time so that you can be at dinner with your family? Or you can, let's just say you're an empty nester and, your significant other, or maybe you don't have a significant other, but somebody's out of town. Then it is about how can you honor yourself and provide self-care to yourself. So whether that's reading or maybe going out or doing a cultural thing, whatever it is, it's not work. And that's good. You need to find that balance. You'll find that, and of course, exercise, you'll need to find that balance because that is going to help you sleep better, which is going to help you perform better at work. And it's just this wonderful cycle that you can get into, which is a good cycle to get into. And then rethinking your culture. So even as a solopreneur, you still have a culture about your company, and anybody that's interacting with your company, whether on social media or a partner, vendor, client, or potential future team member, your culture needs to be defined, and that's based on your core values. So those are all different ways that you can refuel so that if you do find yourself burned out, that you'll be able to come back from it. Identifying it is half the battle. So the sooner you can identify it, the better. And then think about it this way: when you identify it and you're able to refuel, then you're able to add more value and serve your dream clients, because that's why we're all here. And then lastly, just how do you reconnect with your business? Well, you recognize your efforts daily. You track your progress. You ask for help and delegate so that your time is focused on the activities that add the most value to your business. And you reward and you celebrate wins of all sizes. So whether that's completing something that maybe you had been putting off for, let's say, weeks or months or maybe even years, and you finally did it, dance around. Do something, call a friend, just shout it from the rooftops, post to social media, hey, I just finished whatever, and it feels awesome. Here's to you to be able to do something similar and complete something you've been putting off. And then, there's bigger wins, right? So my company turned 6 later this month, and I'm going to take my kids out to dinner and celebrate because me being a small business owner impacts them. And for the most part, they support me. So, and sometimes they even are interested in what my day was like. So it's important to acknowledge the milestone and celebrate the wins. And of course, if you get a great new contract or, whatever your goal is for the year, celebrate it, acknowledge it, write out how awesome you feel. Talk to yourself as you would talk to your best friend, and you may find that you actually talk to yourself nicer. My last bit of advice for you is about reframing. Reframing is when you have the sensibility to consider how can you reevaluate a situation and turn it into a positive, right? How can you spin it? So, no matter what that may be, just ask yourself, am I being too hard on myself? Am I being negative? And then what's a different way to look at this? And so maybe it's not something that I'm going to be apprehensive about anymore, but rather I'm going to be excited because I see the value in taking the time to do whatever it is that I'm avoiding or not looking forward to, or, and I can set my feelings and emotions and set my expectations through visualization of how that's going to look and feel. And that really is powerful. It's so powerful to reframe your mind. Remember, your thoughts and emotions aren't necessarily true. They just happen to most often become your truths, which are, it's That's the story you choose to tell yourself. So ask yourself, why am I choosing such a hard story? It's a great question, isn't it? So I will leave you with this. On April 19th, it's a Friday at noon Central Time, I am going to be giving a free webinar that will be 1 hour on burnout and what to do. So if you have any questions, if you have any ways to celebrate, or ways that you reframe your mind or you track your progress, or any of the things that we talked about today, maybe even identifying burnout, please drop them below, because your comment may help somebody else. And I'm here to make sure that entrepreneurs are loving and feel fulfilled about their life as an entrepreneur. And I do that through category design, through differentiation, through branding, through strategic marketing. And I love what I do, but I really celebrate when my clients feel fulfilled or shift from overwhelmed to, I've got this. That's when I celebrate, because being an entrepreneur should be fun. And if you're not having fun in your work day and you're an entrepreneur, that's on you. So if you need some help, please reach out. Otherwise, share your nuggets. All right, take care, guys. Mahalo.